As the calendar flips to October, the anxiety and anticipation is building. Deer patterns are beginning to change, and bucks start expanding their ranges. The Mini Orange Army takes to the woods for their annual 2-day youth hunt here in Wisconsin. These 2 days are the most important days of the year. These days bring most hunters back down to earth and reminds them what it's all about. These days are spent passing on our knowledge, tactics, ethics, and traditions to the next generation of hunters. These young hunters that will someday be carrying the load of not only hopefully managing their own property and deer herd, but also the future of our sport that we all cherish. I get behind the camera and take my nephew Walker on a 2-day hunt. Walker found success his first youth season by taking a nice 7-pointer. We hope to continue that success this year. We start our wet hunt in a blind overlooking a swamp and cornfield edge, waiting to see if any bucks are roaming the area. How'd the morning hunt go? You're the star of this show. You gotta tell them how it went, what we saw, what we didn't see.
Okay. Morning hunt was good. Cold. Didn't see anything. What else?
And then the plan for the rest?
Going home, changing, going to Grandpa's, and gonna come back out here tonight.
Depends on the weather. All right, hunt number 2 on the day. We were driving around. We walked down that little chunk, didn't see anything. Driving around, there's a lot of deer on their feet. The rain had just stopped. It's midday movement. There's a lot of deer in green field, so we're gonna go hop in the blind for like an hour, hour and a half, grab some lunch, and then it's the evening sit, as long as nothing crazy happens in the next hour. But we're in a pretty good spot back here, so let's find out. It's a little buck. He's a 6-pointer. He's out to his ears. You want him?
Yes.
All right, go for it. Oh, shoot, don't move. He's looking right at us. Go ahead, pull your scope caps off. Try to get on him if you can. Oh, no.
Dang it. Wait.
Keep an eye on him. I didn't think he was that big until he looked at us.
Dang it. Hey, they're moving.
Oh, that'll get your heart going. I wish I would have realized how big that buck was faster. We could have shot him.
Yeah, I would have.
He stood broadside for us for a second or two.
That got my heart going.
Right. Ah, that's right. I have a feeling that won't be our only opportunity this weekend, so. But that's exciting. We sat out for that midday and caught one, so I love it. Love midday movement. If you guys don't hunt midday movement, I suggest you start. It's a good time. There's a doe. She's looking right at us. She doesn't quite know what we are yet.
Well, now we saw 1 buck and 3 does. The buck was running away from one of the does that we spooked up, or it heard us. One, we came around the corner and it was just staring at us, and then it ran off. And then the one we were just starting to walk in, and then we spooked it out.
Yeah, right away. All right, yeah, so we just went for a little still walk back in there because the rain kind of kicked up again and it was windy enough, so I figured we could sneak up on some deer, and that's exactly what we did. We spooked one right away, and then we snuck up on the other 2. The one stood there and stared at us forever, slowly jogged off with the tail up. The other one we got, 10 yards away?
Yeah.
It was like 10 yards. That one just took off right away. Walker saw it right before it got up and started running. And then while that one was running away, we were standing in that opening, and he saw the buck run by. So we started on our way back out, hoping he was trying to loop around, but we never saw him. So either he just came across into the cornfield or he beat us to this road up here. But either way, this day is going great. Now it's time for some lunch before the evening sit. So let's get to it.
What do I say?
I don't know. Someone took a long nap. It'd be interesting to see how much our trees moving around with how much wind we got going on, but I think I'm in the woods enough that it won't be a problem, so let's just get our things together and go climbing a tree, shall we? Our stand set up for the evening hunt proves to be set up on the wrong side of the field. All of the deer enter from the east side of the field. We climb down and try to make a move across the bean field in front of us and close the distance. As the sun sets and the daylight fades, we run out of time trying to close the distance. It marks the end of the first day of the youth hunt. We look forward to using what we've learned today and applying it to the last day of the youth hunt. We set out the next morning to go after some of the deer that we had seen on the previous day.
All right. Well, since Walker couldn't get up this morning on time.
It was all your fault.
We had two does run across the trail in front of us on the way out. I don't think we spooked them. They might have smelled us, but they didn't see us, and they didn't tail up, run through here, so I think we're gonna be all right. We're set up on a real nice clearing in the pine trees, and I feel pretty good about it. We should definitely catch something for the midday movement. I'm really excited. Now we just gotta sit here quietly and patiently. I see it. He doesn't know what's going on. Warm enough in that? Should be warm enough in that, right? Before we go sit for the evening hunt, how has the weekend been?
Great. We saw a lot of deer.
We've had a couple of small opportunities, little windows that we didn't take advantage of yet, but we got one last sit. We had a really, really hard time deciding where we wanted to go for it, but we picked the one that has the most amount of possibilities, and that's over here in these pines. There's a lot of possibilities with this property. We have food on three sides of us. We can catch deer coming out of bedding from any way. So I think we made the right decision. Hopefully, knock on wood. But enough talking. We got to get back in there, get settled in for a nice 2.5 hour sit roughly. But we're gonna walk real slow in there like we have been, and we might jump up on something. We have every time we walked back in there so far, so we never know. Let's see what happens. Nope, that's a big doe. Don't move too much. At those does at what? 5 yards? They never saw us. With the chapter of the youth hunt coming to a close, and no deer down, we still chalk the weekend up as a win. Walker not only enjoyed seeing as many deer as we did, but also learn some new tactics, techniques throughout the weekend that he can apply on future hunts. But with this weekend comes major change in the woods. A lot of deer have been pushed around by the extra pressure in the woods that the youth hunt inherently brings. And now it's on to the seemingly universal dread of the October lull.